Parshas Vayera. I'm only doing this because Ariel Shields wants to. We're going to make a BAM sound on the computer. Good. Shabbos. Happy Bar Mitzvah Parsha to Zach Fair. Chassidus and Chassidic Parshas Vayera. A lot of crazy stuff going on in this Parsha. Lots and lots and lots of crazy stuff. So we're going to touch on a few things. First of all, as usual, we're going to start with Eretz Yisrael. We can't do anything in the world of Torah, in the world of Ruchnis, without realizing that Eretz Yisrael is the focus. We're in the Sefer Drishat. When Kedushas Levi decided that he was going to punish the people living in Sodom. And he decided that he was going to destroy the city that was on the land. It says, I'm going to hide from Avram. That's what I'm doing. Because he knows that which I'm commanding to his children. And they're going to watch the derech of Hashem. What does this mean? How come Kedushas Baruch Hu had to tell Avram, I'm going to destroy Sodom? That's ridiculous. Does Kedushas Baruch Hu come and say, okay, I'm going to send a hurricane to the East Coast now. I'm doing it. He doesn't tell us. He doesn't tell us he's going to send an earthquake to LA. He doesn't tell us he's going to send a tsunami to Japan. He doesn't tell us these things. So why Dafka by Avram, when it comes to Sodom, did Kedushas Baruch Hu decide to tell him why he's going to destroy Sodom? It's a good question. It's a good question. So what's the answer? Ana al-kach l'Rashbam. The Rashbam gives us a beautiful answer. Am I going to be able to hide that what I'm going to be doing? That I'm going to flip upside down that makes Sodom like Purim. I know that his children, the descendants of Avram, are going to be watching the derech Hashem. They're going to be shomer. They're going to be shomer mitzvos and Torah, shomer Shabbos, shomer Kasher, shomer Negiah. All the beautiful Indians of Shmira and Zechira that come to Shabbos and come to our world. And they're going to be zoche. They're going to be zoche to bring upon them that which I promised to Avram Avinu. Lateit lahem Eretz Canaan, to give to them the land of Canaan. And we know that the city of Sodom was part of the Nachlab. It was part of the inheritance that Avram Avinu's children were going to be getting, that we're supposed to be getting. In Parshas Noach, when it's explained to us the Gvul of Canaan, when it's giving us the borders of Eretz Canaan, the Gvul of the land of Canaan, Mitzidon, Bracha Gerara ad Aza, Bracha Sodoma, Va'amora Adam of Tzvuya ad Lasha. Ad Lasha. It's giving us all the different points, and one of the Gvuls, one of the borders that it's giving to us is what? Is Sodom. Now listen to what Kedushas Baruch Hu Kaviyachol is telling himself before he tells Avram Avinu. This is a wild, wild thing. Kaviyachol, Ki'ilu, not actually. Kedushas Baruch Hu doesn't actually say this, but Kaviyachol, it's like he says it. Ve'ech achriv karka shelo. How am I going to destroy Avram Avinu's land? O karka shcheinav, or the land of his neighbor. Shalom idato. If it's not him, if he doesn't know about it, I'm giving the land to Avram Avinu and his descendants. So how the heck can I go and destroy that land if it's his? Unless I'm going to tell him first. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is telling us that the Eretz Yisrael is so much so part of our existence and part of our essence that even though HaKadosh Baruch Hu is HaKadosh Baruch Hu Echad Yachid U'Yachad L'Chayil Umim, He is the one unified essence in the world, and even then He still has to say, how can I possibly think that I'm going to hide this essence from Avram Avinu? How am I going to hide this action? That's just how connected we are to the land of Eretz Yisrael. We'll come back to this in the Chazar. It's a very, very fascinating point. Turn the camera off. Come on. Okay. We're going to move on to the Kedushas Levi. Baruch Hashem this week, Rizocha, to have a double dose of Kedushas Levi. As Shlomo Katz just said, the Mamtik of Al Dinim, we should be Zocha to understand what that means. He's the sweetener of all judgments. Literally translated. V'ya'e lav Hashem ve'elonei mamre. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu revealed himself to Avram and Elonei Mamre, the place that he was in. V'yesh Didaktik, we have to clarify. Lama lo kata v'yera Hashem al Avram. How come it doesn't say HaKadosh Baruch Hu revealed himself to Avram? What's the pasuk say? V'ya'e lav Hashem. Hashem appeared to him. Oh, thank you. Why does it say V'ya'e lav El Avram? Why Kadosh Baruch Hu revealed himself to Avram? Why him? I think it's a pronoun. I don't know if I don't English. I think that's a pronoun. Why use that lashon? How doesn't say his name? Vayera, and it appears to me. The Creator. HaKadosh Baruch Hu was constantly sending down shefa. He's sending down gifts and presents and holy influences into our world. There's certain types of influences, shefa. We know there's a concept called tzimtzum. A basic concept called tzimtzum. I'm not going to get into the details of tzimtzum, but tzimtzum means to make smaller. To detract. Contract. Good word. To contract. HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We're about to go crazy for 1 second. Stay with me. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is everything in the world and has all of the powers. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to give us stuff, there's two ways of doing it. There's doing it, HaKadosh Baruch Hu sending us powers and influences and gifts through tzimtzum, through contraction. There's other ways HaKadosh Baruch Hu is sending it, which is through just straight influence. Let's just think of a mashal for this. If I want to send you a present, one way I could do it is if I want to send you an apple, okay? If I want to send Zach Fair his bar mitzvah apple, I could either give him a small sliver of the apple and throw it at his face, or I can take the apple and smash it into his nose. Which one of those is tzimtzum, contraction, the small piece? But the best way of doing it is taking the whole apple and giving it to Zach. That's tzimtzum. So now we're going to explain the Kedushas Levi like this. There's certain times when the HaKadosh Baruch Hu sends us gifts and presents and shefa, which was not contracted. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu contracts and lessens the pureness of his gifts. So when he does that, he does that through letters. We know the world was created with letters. In the world of the angels, when we want to define what the koach of the angels are, we call them srafim. That means that HaKadosh Baruch Hu's power has now been defined into one essence, called srafim, contraction. In all of their worlds, even in our world, the lower world, every single person has his definition of his kedusha, of his holiness, and his pure essence of HaKadosh Baruch Hu on his level, based on his letters. Meaning, hold with me, we're going to explain this. Because what HaKadosh Baruch Hu was giving to Avram is not pure, unadulterated kedusha of Hashem. It's contracted into in the defined place of Avram. Bear with me for understanding. With every single person, someone who serves HaKadosh Baruch Hu with Mesiras Nefesh, when he breaks himself in order to serve Hashem, then a person breaks out of his osios. He breaks out of the constrictions that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has placed on how much HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to give to him, and he's able to connect to a much deeper place. To kochos that haven't been contracted into letters. And we see Avram Avinu Avram Avinu gave himself a bris milah even in his old age. And he was serving HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'mesiras nefesh. And everything he did in his service of HaKadosh Baruch Hu was mesiras nefesh. He kept breaking himself in order to purify and clarify what his avodah was. And therefore, even though his name was Abraham, and he had a specific top and a specific level that HaKadosh Baruch Hu could give him shefa, when a person breaks yourself, you get out of that definition of what HaKadosh Baruch Hu can give you. We're going to explain this in 1 second. Because he's 100% completely connected to the shefa. And therefore, when a person is Moser Nefesh, he breaks himself, you don't even call him by his name. And therefore, to understand the pasuk, V'yarei Rav Hashem, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu revealed himself to him. When at Avram Shelo Nikra B'Shmo Klal. At this point, Avram Avinu is not even being called Avram Avinu. At the point of his Mesiras Nefesh of Bris Milah, because he broke himself to the extent of just purely wanting to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu, even if it involves pain, even if it involves a little bit of brokenness. So even through all that, he still serves Hashem. So therefore, he doesn't have a name anymore. To explain this on I don't know, but a simple level, a deeper level, I'm not really sure. A lot of times we get stuck in our own kochot, in our own powers. I know that I'm a person who is very good at X. Let's marshal to basketball. I know I'm a person who's very, very good at making a layup. from shooting from very, very close to the basketball. So if I don't work on myself, if I don't break myself, so I'm only going to be shooting from very, very close. I'm never going to get there. But if I break myself and I go out every day and I take a shot from a little farther away and I practice, and I break myself and I run and I start to do push-ups and sit-ups and X and Y and Z and all these different things I'm doing for basketball, so eventually I'm not the same person anymore. I'm a whole different being. And therefore I can shoot from a little farther, I can run a little faster, I can jump a little higher. And you can put that in every single tool of your life, but specifically with regards to Avodas Hashem. Right? If you come and you say, okay, it's not fair, how come I can't be like my Rebbe, and how come I can't be like Shlomo Katz, how come I can't be like Chaim David, how come I can't be like Zach Fair, how come I can't be like the Kedushas Levi, how come I can't be like the Meshulach, how come I can't be like Eli Tesla? There's so many different people that I can say, how come I can't be like them? How come I can't be like them? So yeah, if you don't work on yourself and if you don't break yourself, of course you're going to stay in your pit's little name. Right, my name is Yonah Lev. So if I don't break out of my kochos, I'm going to stay Yonah Lev, whatever that means in terms of my definition. When you break yourself and you work on yourself and you come to a place where you take off all the outer layers of who you are, take off all the klipa, all the outer shell, and get to the inner essence of who you are, there's no name there. It's just a neshama, and the neshama doesn't have a name. And neshama is pure kedusha Yonah. It's a chelik elokami mao. Right, the Svarim explain that what's a neshama. A neshama in the world of Shemayim is this giant rock. The rock is smashed into a bunch of pieces, and each one of those little pieces is put into. Does that mean that my rock is less? If I take a diamond and break it up into pieces, is it not a diamond? No, it's still a diamond. My neshama, even though it's broken, separate from a Kadosh Baruch right now, it's still a chelik of a Kadosh Baruch. That's what we say. A chelik el kamel. It's a piece of a Kadosh Baruch. So my neshama, on its pure essence, there's no tzimtzum, there's no contraction. It's all there, waiting to expand and blow up with kedusha. But my name and my essence and my definition, going back to lechacha, of the things that are surrounding me and the influences, they're able to prevent me from letting that aura, from that inner light spreading out and allowing me to expand all of my strengths. So that's what the Kedushas Levi is saying over here in the first Torah. The Yalav Hashem, when a person reaches a level of breaking himself and being no nefesh v'akadosh baruch hu, then you call the Rebbe. Rebbe's not a name. Oh, Rebbe! Rebbe's not a name. Vayera love Rebbe. Vayera love Hashem to Rebbe. Right? There's no name there, because it's pure godless. There's no name there. Oh, Kedushas Levi. Now the names aren't important. Now Kedushas Levi again! Ashreinu ma tov chelkeinu u'manoyim goyaleinu. 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 Ashreinu ma tov chelkeinu. And Avinu brings the Malachim into his tent under his tree, and it says V'amod aleihem, and he's standing on them, above them, and then they eat. What does this mean? The Kedushas Levi, this is going to blow our faces away, like Eli Tesla said. Hold on to your kippah, because it's going to fly away. Because here comes the Ruach Elokim, the wind of a Kadosh Baruch who's about to blow you in the face. Boom! HaKlal hu kamavuar. The klal, the general understanding, right? Kedushas Levi talks about klal. We're talking about everything right now. Everything we're saying right now is regarding everything in our lives. Shabbat habayis lo yeh midnai yifrei ha'oreach. The bahabayis, the owner, the man of the hour, the man of the house, he should not act in a way that is more special on a higher level than his guests. There's a big chesed teaching also, we should know. Why? So that the guests shouldn't be jealous of the Baal Bayis. I invite a person into my house. Afuch. I'm a schlepper. That's my mitzias. I'm a schlepper. So someone invites me into their house. So I'm a little disgusting person, a human being. Whatever. I don't understand. Let's say I don't have the nicest things in the world. And Zach Fair invites me to his house. He's got all his bar mitzvah presents, his silver platters, and all the turkeys and ducks and the meats, and all the gavaldic grape juices. We're making l'chaims. Not that you shouldn't be giving your guests food, but Zach's mom is looking like a melech because he's a bar mitzvah boy. So you invite this guest, you invite me, the schlepper, into your house. There's one way of, I'm the king, and you're the peasant, and therefore I'm gonna, right? That's what the king sounds make. But instead, Zach's gonna take his broken glasses, which were smashed by someone's feet, and you're going to make them feel like they're the king and not you. There's a famous story, I forgot about which tzaddik it was. It's a big, giant table. The Rebbe had all these guests over. And everyone had these giant cups full of wine before a Kiddush. And as they're sitting at the table, this one schlepper Yid spills his glass over wine on a white tablecloth. And can you imagine back in Europe, let's just say the Ukraine, because it's all about the Ukraine, because that's where the Baal Shem Tov is from, So the white tablecloth is not dirty. They don't have bleach back then. Maybe, I don't know, I wasn't in Ukraine back then. I don't think they had bleach. So the table's not stained, and the schlepper's feeling like the worst ever. And what's this Rebbe do? Naturally, shake the table. And all of a sudden, all the wine falls over. And all of a sudden, everyone's like felling. What just happened? And then he says, I'm sorry, it's a minute to spill all the wine before Kiddush. Omed Aleichem. When he's standing above them to serve them, what does this mean? You shouldn't make the oreach feel like he's out of place. A tzaddik, what's the definition of a tzaddik? A tzaddik is someone who's always going. Rabbi Nachman says, Ani tamid mitalech. I'm always going. He says, I'm always going higher and higher and higher. A person should always be going higher. And you know what? And if you're going down, I'm pretty sure Rabbi Nachman. Okay, tshuva for Rabbi Nachman. Mamash asking ultimate tzliching about Rabbi Nachman. I'm sure Rabbi Nachman said, I'm always going up. Maybe it could mean that sometimes he also went down. But we know from Rabbi Nachman, don't freak out, Bar Mitzvah boy. Maybe going down, Rabbi Nachman tells us, is also going up. So even if you're going down, you're admitting that you're moving. You're admitting that you're moving. Tamid mitalech, I'm always moving. So even if I'm going down on a Tesla, I'm still moving up. That's a tzaddik. A tzaddik is realizing he's always moving. If you think you're stagnant and not moving anywhere, so you should slap yourself in the face 17 times, Gematria Tov. So even if you're slapping yourself, it still feels good. But let's get even deeper. Umalach nikra omed. But a malach is called omed. You can stop slapping yourself now. A malach is called omed. A malach is called standing. He doesn't move. Why? Malachim know they're tough. They don't move anywhere. But us, Yidinach, we have to keep moving. The Kanratza Avram over here haven't wanted. Kanu ba Malachim. He didn't want the Malachim to be jealous of Avram. He didn't want the Malachim to be jealous. That's crazy. So what did he do? So what did Avram do? Avram made himself act like a malach. Instead of acting like a person, he made himself act like a malach. Lios omed, standing, omed aleichem. Instead of being mahalach, I'm such a big tzaddik right now, I'm such a big tzaddik right now, I'm such a big tzaddik right now, I'm going to be doing all the crazy things, but there's a shlepper in front of me, so be a shlepper for a minute. That's what it means by the pasuk. Instead of he's moving around and doing all this crazy avoda. No, there's some malachim here who can't do avoda. They can't put on tzitzis. Malachim can't make brachas. They can't do all these crazy things. So what are they supposed to do? They're all embarrassed and jealous in front of Avram Avinu omed aleichem. He's going to be a simple yid right now. A couple things going on, but one thing I want to focus on. It's going a little bit away from the pshat of what he was talking about in terms of achnasas orchim. But for us, in terms of bali avoda, the angels are jealous of us. We're constantly moving, we're constantly growing. But like a plant, ki adam eitz hasadeh, we're trees. We're coming up to Tu B'Shvat soon, in like a few months. Ki adam eitz hasadeh, sometimes a tree dies. But even as long as the tree's dying, not in order to keep growing again, so he's still growing. The death process, the dying process, like we learned Rabbi Nachman, you read it, L'tzorch Aliyah, you got to be falling, you got to go down in order to go up. And in that you read, and in that falling, in that place of lowness, that is the source of all the koach to go up. And that's what Kedushas Levi is telling us. The angels want that. The animals want that. They want to be able to be moving. We have such a schos that we can be moving, we can be changing, we can be learning and being opening things in their eyes. And like Shlomo was telling us tonight, the Gemara says, Amar Rabbi Namin, a person is blind until HaKadosh Baruch Hu opens their eyes. If we have open eyes, we realize we're constantly moving. But if we're not moving, we're always be blind. If we let HaKadosh Baruch Hu into our lives just a little bit, if we let HaKadosh Baruch Hu into every single moment of when we're eating, and the Shulchan Aruch says that when you go to the bathroom, that could be a moment of godliness. The Eretz Yisrael said a bunch of parshas ago, he said that when a person's eating, when a person's going to everything that a person's doing, you can enter HaKadosh Baruch Hu into that aspect. And you enter HaKadosh Baruch Hu into that aspect of your life, your eyes are open again, and you realize that you're always moving. So to go back 1 second ago to the Drishat Tziyon, the Drishat Tziyon tells us don't even think for 1 second that Eretz Yisrael is not part of your life. You are Eretz Yisrael. Your whole essence is Eretz Yisrael. Why? Because if Eretz Yisrael wasn't part of my whole essence, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu wouldn't come and tell me I'm about to go destroy Sodom. Because it's part of my body. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wouldn't come and chop off my fingers unless he wouldn't do that before telling me. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu asking me, goes, I know your children are going to be, this is their land. But I'm just letting you know right now I have to destroy this. Because it's so integral into part of our lives. That's Eretz Yisrael. The Kedushas Levi in the first piece. When a person breaks himself, when a person breaks themselves, you're beyond your name. The name that you were given in high school, the name you were given in elementary school, in kindergarten when they called you Stinky Head. Right? That's a name, that's a symptom. You're giving osios right there. Stinky Head's not your name. Maybe in kindergarten that was your definition, but you broke yourself and you learned how to go to the bathroom properly. You broke yourself and learned how to draw inside the lines, and you're not Stinky Head anymore. You can draw a picture nicely. Good job, Zach Kver, Bar Mitzvah boy. You can draw in the lines. You broke out of your name. Maybe that's why the Gemara tells us you should never use a person's nickname. When you give a person a nickname, you're mitzamtzim. You're defining them as something that they're not. You're defining someone in something that they're not supposed to be. Not degrading. If I start calling you right now, great master leader of the world, as a nickname, most ridiculous nickname ever, you think it's a compliment by me mitzamtzim, because maybe you're meant to be something different. Maybe you're meant to be something greater. Maybe that's the meaning of the Gemara over there. I don't know. When a person breaks themselves, we don't have a name anymore. We're just pure Kedusha, pure Neshama. And then a Neshama can really daven. And finally, Kedushas Levi, Ashayim Atov Chokeinu, we have a schus to this beautiful teaching. The Malachim want to be like us. The animals want to be like us. The trees, the rocks, they want to be like us, constantly moving. We have such a schus, we have to open up our eyes to see that we're able to move. So we should be zocheh to connect to the teachings of Eretz Yisrael. We should be zocheh to connect to the teachings of the Mamtik Dinim, Rabbi Yitzchak ben Tzar Sasha, Rabbi Berditchev, to the teachings of all the tzaddikim and Dafka and Hilul of Shalom Karbach tonight. We should connect to all the tzaddikim. Rabbi Nachman tells us a beautiful thing. He tells us, Al Yidei Hitchabrut B'Shemot Tzaddikim, when a person connects to the names of tzaddikim, you can change the whole world's natural order. When you connect to tzaddikim, you can change the world mamash. So we connect to the tzaddikim, the Kedushas Levi, Drishat, Tziyon, of Shlomo, Rabbi Nachman, all the Tanaim, all the Moraim, of Nevi'im, all the Avos, Nimos, all the rabbis everywhere. We can connect to the true tzaddikim and really be able to change the world properly. B'ezras Hashem, Shabbos.